Mm. Okay, I'm Ronald Dwayne Whitfield recording at my house where I live on Saturday, May 27th of 2017. The purpose for this video is to inform the world and any other person that's interested that I am now seeking the help of prominent, powerful people that can help me get word to United States Attorney General Jeff Sessions and our President Donald Trump and anyone else that has influence and power to expose what's going on in this matter that I'm about to describe at this time. On May 6th, 2017, a Saturday, I took my wife over to a hospital. It's a corporation. It is registered with the Secretary of the State of Texas to do business in Harris County, State of Texas, and operates under the name of Hermann Memorial Children's Hospital, or Memorial Hermann Children's Hospital. My wife was taken to this establishment, or corporation, and she had a toothache. Severe toothache. I took her there with our 8-month-old baby, Caitlin Lee Whitfield. In less than 30 minutes, my wife called me and informed me that I needed to come or return to the hospital to get our son because she stated that they was not going to let her leave. I was at that time, my uncle, Michael Whitfield, or Michael Ray Whitfield, and I were working on a friend's car doing transmission work. When I arrived at the hospital, I parked in I think it's the emergency entrance. It may not be, but I'm not exactly sure if it's where it's the emergency entrance, but it's the front of the hospital. And I think that you can park there, but you can't park there for too long a period of time, or else you may be told. I wasn't sure, so I parked there. I parked there. So I go in the hospital and I start recording, and so I'm conscious that I don't want to have my vehicle towed. So I'm kind of walking fast. I don't have time. It's necessary that for the United States attorneys and the FBI agents now to be conducting a formal investigation frame of mind, so it can all be crystal clear as to my mindset at the time of entering the hospital. So I entered the hospital with the understanding that I got to, be quick and get back to the car before it becomes towed. So I go in there and I see my wife standing with our baby, holding him, and I ask her, "What's the problem?" And she started saying that they're they're acting like, and so I asked people that were standing, "What's the problem here, please?" And I heard so the response I was given that she can't leave. I already knew according to her, she couldn't leave. I was coming in to find out why. The reason, by definition, quote, "A reason is a statement that explains to the reader or listener why you hold a position and why the reader or listener too should hold that position," unquote. Who can't leave? My response was, she can't leave. Why can't she leave? The response I was given, she can't leave because she can't leave. And this is called circular reasoning. An example of circular reasoning is, you should, quote, "You should not smoke," unquote. Response is, why? Quote, "Well, because you just shouldn't," unquote. You're not telling me, well, you shouldn't smoke because smoking causes emphysema, it causes cancer, it causes complications during pregnancy, bronchitis, and all kind of medical illnesses, diseases. So that's why, okay, I get it. So because I was not giving a reason, now I asked my wife, "What did you tell these people?" And she stated, "Well, I told them that I was hearing voices, and then I heard someone next say, you can't be recording. Because I know the law, I know that Herman Memorial, I may have misspoken at the time because sometimes I have other things in my mind, and this is not so important right now. I may misspeak sometimes. Herman Memorial Hospital is a private corporation doing business in the state of Texas in Harris County, and therefore is registered with our Secretary of State here. Herman Memorial Hospital is not law. Herman Memorial Hospital cannot make law. It can make policy not inconsistent with public law. Herman Memorial Hospital is an establishment or domain that is open to do business with the public. Herman Memorial Hospital has no legal right to restrict my or anyone else's constitutional protections. Our federal constitution does not give man, woman, children rights. It does not do that. Our federal constitution recognizes that we have what is called unalienable rights. These are rights that the Declaration of Independence recognizes come from our Creator, God. God gives the right, for example, to the people. And the Constitution recognizes that the God-given right of the people to be secure in their persons, the right of, quote, the right, hold on for a minute. Neighbor. God give us the right, and the Constitution recognizes that. I was seeing a neighbor pass by. I thought he was going to stop and talk to me. God gives the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by an oath or an affirmation, particularly describing the person to be searched or the things to be seized. That's the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution. It does not give you this right. It simply recognizes that God gave you the right, and it stands as a guarantee of protection to safeguard that right from government, the federal government, or the state governments from violating that right. Judges have a duty, a legal constitutional duty to protect these rights. And if the Constitution is violated and the judges allow them, that if that judge is acting willfully, then the judge can be removed from office as being incompetent. The Constitution is not to be violated. But if it be, there's consequences for violating the Constitution. Now, so the 14th Amendment says, guarantees, when it declares that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. And it goes on to say, to the effect, no state shall deprive or deny, nor shall any state deprive any person of the God-given life, the God-given freedom, liberties we have, nor the property that we acquire. Can't deprive us of that without due process of law. Due process. This is something that's owed to us, not something that we borrow or that that's it's ours. It's owed to us. If the states or the federal government moves to deprive us of life, freedoms that God gave us, the life that God, it's not our life. God can call the life back at any time for any reason. The liberties, all that belong to God. But just that no states can deprive us of what God, gave to us. But when I say gave, I don't want that to be misunderstood as that you can tattoo your body. It's not your body. You can have an abortion. It's not your baby. All this belongs to God. So by just saying that much, I guess anyone, let me calm down. So the life does not belong to you. You have no right to have an abortion. You have no right to take life within you. That's not yours. If it was yours, you could do it like this car. I got a title to it. I can do what I want to do with this vehicle. I can tear it up, burn it up, cannot do anything to me because it's mine. Well, it actually belongs to God. But so you get where I'm going with this. If the state seeks to put me imprison me, there's a process owed to me before you can do it. And if the state of Texas violate that process, then the Constitution is violated because it protects me from such state action. The Constitution tells me that Herman Memorial Hospital cannot deny me, deprive me of my record. It's my property. You cannot tell me what to do with my property if I want to record. But what you can do, you can have policy, but you got to post your policy and put me on notice. You may enter this building for medical treatment or to visit patients or both. If you have a cell phone or device, you are not authorized to record in certain areas in this hospital, or you cannot record at all. Now you got an opportunity to make an informed decision of whether or not you want to come to this hospital and obtain medical treatment or to visit someone, because the hospital corporation is restricting your ability to access your property. Now, whether or not it can lawfully do this is another question. But to the extent that the hospital has an unwritten policy or an unposted policy, has to have it posted. You see me, if you look at this video, that's why you see me recording. See, they just think something wrong with me, and that's good. Perhaps it helps me. I'm recording to show there's no. You see, I'm entering this establishment. I have to be put on notice, or inside the hospital, the notice can be posted. But you just cannot come to me and tell me you cannot record. You have to prove what you claim. You have to, per policy TY 967.1.357, you are prohibited from recording in this hospital. And here's the policy. I'm not lying to you. Without doing that, what you say is not true. You have to allege and prove what you allege. You just can't, because we're talking, well, I don't got time for all that. If people don't know that, then I don't know what else to tell you. You just can't be telling you don't believe what a police officer or FBI or anybody tell you is the law, because they tell you if a police officer tells you, or FBI officer agent tells you, a hospital employee tells you something relating to the law or hospital policy, prove it. They need tell them. Well, let me see that policy. Why is it not posted? Where's it posted? If they can't show that at a time, then they need to move on. They need to move on. Now, having said all that, I just making it clear to what's going on here. And sometimes I don't have time to argue with people. I already know what I'm doing. When I was told that I couldn't record, I already know they also got, they have a camera system also recording. I turned my phone's camera recording off, and I then turned to my wife and I asked her, are you feeling suicidal? Her response was no. Do you want to hurt anybody? No. Do you want to hurt yourself? Her response was no. Do you want to damage any property, public property, private properties, valuable? I guess she think, no, I'm not, tripping. So I elicited information from her that she's not wanting to go blow up something. Like Madonna said, I think she wanted to do something to the White House. She didn't want to do anything, blow up anything that was valuable, public monuments and things of that nature. She didn't want to harm anybody, nor herself. Then I asked Paco one last time, why are you holding her? The response was still that she could not leave. I'm recording on this video. Let me pause if I can.